Hey, welcome in. It's Monday, September 13th. Thomas Miller on the Fun Astrology Podcast. Glad you are here. Hope you had a good weekend. We're going to have a fairly light day in the sky today, but not according to another chart that we're going to look at. We'll talk about that in a second. Tomorrow is going to be a busy day. Just a little heads up. Tomorrow afternoon, 5:21, the sun opposes Neptune. Mars is in a sesquisquare, this minor aspect with Uranus, but it is in an aspect with Uranus. The moon moves into Capricorn tomorrow morning at 7:30, after about a 30-minute void, of course. And then Mars moves into Libra tomorrow evening. So we got a busy day tomorrow. We'll unpack all of that tomorrow. Of course, the big one, obviously, on that is that sun opposite Neptune. That energy very, very much there today. Also, the moon is in a T-square with the sun and Neptune. So it could be a little bit triggery today. If there is something to be triggered, something could get triggered today with that moon in that T-square. That's a rougher aspect, if you will. Another aspect on the radar that's coming up, but not exact yet, is Mercury is going to be trining Jupiter. Will it get there before it goes into retrograde is the question. Yes, it will. On September 21st, it will trine Jupiter exactly. That's a positive aspect because even though Mercury is not so happy in Libra, that offset with that Jupiter trine is going to definitely make communication in our favor for the next, what will that be? Just over a week, right? So in this period, as long as you are standing in love and harmony and in good energy, you could lean into a conversation and possibly realize that the universe is with you if you speak from love. Now, what I did want to mention, and I don't think we've ever done this here, but I'm going to mention an aspect relative to the chart of the United States. And I'm using as the chart for the United States the most widely accepted birth time, quote unquote, or as they say, the signature time of the Declaration of Independence being July 4th, 1776 at 5:10 p.m., location Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It's otherwise known as the Sibley birth chart of the United States. And really comparing anything to that date, July 4th, you're going to get this same effect, and that is that today, the transiting sun in Virgo is squaring the United States natal Mars position, which is in Gemini, both at 21 degrees. Now, what's interesting is that in about 4 weeks, on October 17th, we're going to have the flip-flop of that. So transiting Mars will square the natal sun. The United States natal sun is in Cancer. Mars will then be in Libra, and right before that Mars square, the sun will have also conjuncted Mars, about a week before, actually. So today we have the transiting sun squaring the natal Mars. In 3 weeks, we'll have not a direct aspect, but at least a square forming up, and Mars and the sun in the sky transiting will be square to the United States sun, and then about a week later, Mars will square the United States sun. Now, this gets interesting, and the reason I'm starting to bring the United States chart in is, so number one, I think we need to start to get familiar with it because in February of 2022, we will have Pluto in exactly the same position that it was on July 4th, 1776, calling it the Pluto return of the United States. We really don't talk about Pluto returns because they take almost 250 years. And I mean, who lives that long, right? And what nations live that long? At least intact. Nations do, people don't. But I think there are changes ahead for sure. And we're starting to see some of these things in the sky. Now, there's another aspect that I'm going to mention. Going out on a bit of a limb here, it's a little bit more complicated than what we normally get into, but there is another way of looking at the chart called the solar arc progressed chart, okay? Let's just say in simple terms, it's how we bring the chart up to current modern status. I'm going to go into this in depth with a section in the 101 course, But for now, let's just say that it's the way that we modernize the chart. We pull everything forward because obviously from the moment we're born, we grow. We grow physically and we grow spiritually, and that's how astrology keeps up with that growth. So as we put that chart up, which really kind of puts us at a modern contemporary place, in the fall, in the last quarter, the last half, let's say, of 2023, so this is a full 2 years away, that solar arc Saturn, which moves very slowly, will conjoin or be right on top of the United States natal Mars. So I'm very interested as Mars passes over, really as Mars passes over subsequently, probably once at least again between now and then, to see how this interacts with the Sun-Mars dynamic in the United States chart, transiting Sun and Mars, trigger planets. Are we going to see anything trigger? That's going to be very interesting to see how this Saturn-Mars might start to align. So I know we've all been feeling stuff, right? So let's dig a little deeper now as we get these days where not so much else is happening, that we can use some of this time to dig deeper and look at some of these other possibilities that might be shaping up that we can bring into our awareness and start to watch. Tomorrow, put your roller skates on, gang. We'll be back with that big list of stuff that we will tackle, including the Sun across from Neptune. So have a great Monday. I'll see you tomorrow.